their tax liability. So if their tax liability is $3,000 and they have 3 kids, they're going to lose that. That $3,000 will come off with that child tax liability.
Oh, wonderful. How about small business owners? Anything good that you can maybe mention for
track your miles?
You know, they have a new app. They have a new app.
I saw that. I was just telling clients about that yesterday.
Right.
I keep a calendar in my car, and whenever I go somewhere, I at least put down the address where I went, and I can at least go back to Google Maps and figure out, okay, it was this many miles. But you should write down your odometer when you leave and your odometer when you get back.
And also check your app on your Google phone or Google Play Store, because they absolutely have an app now that all you do is hook your phone up and it tracks your traveling miles.
Right. You hit the button.
I forgot the name of it. It's iMileage.
I don't know. There's a couple different ones out there.
Is there?
Yeah.
Okay. So just get the free one, get a free one and try it out. I was going to do it because I do a lot of traveling.
And if you do use that for business purposes, whatever the cost of the app is a deduction.
Oh, see that? That's a good idea too. Any other good tips that you can possibly give anybody for the tax season, as far as we know, keep your receipts, organized. Don't come in a shoebox, even though you'll take them. But anything else you can help out with?
One of the easiest ways to track expenses, if you're not real good with keeping up with the receipts, is to swipe your card. Use a debit card, use your credit card, and then at the end of the year, you have that end of year statement, or you can at least download your bank stuff into a CSV file into Excel and manipulate the data. That way, it makes tracking and sorting a lot easier and coming up with totals.
Yeah. I imagine that I'm a big swiper anyway. I hardly ever have cash on me. And that is a good way, because at the end of the year, you're right. I go through all my statements and I highlight them to give them to my accountant. What's going to be deducted off of business or whatever. And that's a good tip too, though. Because cash is kind of hard. I mean, you have to keep the receipt and then put it in an envelope.
Receipts fade. Write on your receipts, because they fade. 6 months down the road, you're looking at your receipts and there's nothing on the piece of paper. You can't even read
it. That's why I do everything through my bank too, because then I print out my bank statements as well. That's a good idea too, right?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. What else, Michelle? Anything else you can kind of give us a little helping out with? Any of the new? How about now that we have a new president in office? What do you think? Anything's going to change?
It's going to be interesting. I'm waiting to see what they're going to do with the Obamacare penalties.
Yeah, I heard
shared responsibility penalties. I have a lot of clients that get hit hard with that.
Yeah. And I know someone personally that got hit very hard with it. And even though they had the exemption to prove, they were still fined a certain amount of money. And I really hope, in a way, I know that the Obamacare helps certain people. I understand that. I hope it can continue helping those people, but I personally think that it's such garbage. And I'm sorry. I really do. I'm sorry. I think it messed up so many people. Yes. I know it affected a lot of I hate to class it out, but your upper middle class people, our premiums went up. Your premiums went up and your deductibles went up. And the older people, these poor older gentlemen and ladies that are just living on Social Security, are also getting hit so very hard with a $5,000, $10,000 deductible. Are you kidding me? And $300 a month payment? How is that helping anybody?
It's not.
How is that helping anyone?
The ones that can't afford the penalty or can't afford the insurance are exempt from the penalties. They go to the hospital and all of their stuff is written off. The ones that it's really affecting are the people that are working very hard. They're paying their insurance premiums. They go to the hospital and something that should have been, a simple couple $100 thing turns into a $4,000 or $5,000 thing. And then they're paying for $3,000 of that because their deductibles are so high.
I went and I was helping someone with their Obamacare issues and with getting a prescription. With Obamacare, the prescription was something like $400 a month. And I called up the drug company and said, is there any way that you can help this person get this medication because they don't have the money to pay for it? And there was always a little stipulation. It was either $1 less than what these people made or $1 more. And she said those specs were set by the Obamacare prescription, whatever. I don't know the terminology for it, but it was absolutely a problem that came from the Obamacare health system. The prescription, there was no prescription coverage. The deductions were completely I don't know how anybody really made out well with it, but there are people I see on Facebook that pray and praise him and praise the healthcare system that he gave. And they said they would never have insurance if it wasn't for Obamacare. I really wholeheartedly disagree.
I wonder with those people if they chose not to have insurance because they didn't want to spend their money on it. And that's why they didn't have insurance, or if it was not available to them.
I don't know, but I hope that this is something that I hope, honestly, I'm not saying, I'm not trying to give any kind of political thing, but I just hope that they can get rid of that and keep it for the people that need it or want it. But don't fine people that don't want it.
The fine I would like to see them get rid of.
Yeah.
I have clients that they went through the marketplace, they got their insurance, they paid $12,000 for the year for their insurance, and they had to pay a shared responsibility payment because they underreported their income. They're self-employed. You can't always accurately within 100% report your income. You estimate. I had another client who, to get a break on the insurance so he could afford it, overstated what his income was. He didn't make that kind of money, and then he had to pay money back to cover his shortfall.
And it's no joke, the fines.
I think it was like $1,500 this one guy had to pay.
Yep,
it was really sad.
I don't know if they based that on any specific numbers, but I know that the first fine you get is something like $400 to $600, and it like doubles every year.
I think I haven't checked this year, but I want to say it's like $795 as a base or 3% of your adjusted gross income, whichever is higher, not lower, higher. So if it comes
so
out,
speechless over that.
Yes.
I'm so speechless. I can't even, there's no words for that. Really.
It's like we're expecting refunds, and sorry, you have a shared responsibility. You have to pay $3,000. There's no refund.
So hopefully they get rid of the fining, and I don't want insurance to be taken away from people that really absolutely need it. I would prefer just the fining aspect of it to go away, like you said.
Yes. And right? I was told that Trump signed an executive order for that.
Did he?
However, tax rules and regulations are set by December 31st. So whatever he would have signed will not go into effect until next year, tax season.
But then he is the president. Do you think
they're not going to?
He can't prorate it.
I don't think they're going to change it mid-tax season.
No.
I think it would be a logistical nightmare for all tax preparers out there.
Yeah. Unbelievable. I just shake my head. I'm sitting here shaking my head because I still can't believe, really, so many of my friends that I've spoken to, my neighbors, their children who are like mid-20s, they're working or they're going to school, are forced to get Obamacare, because they're not covered under their mom and dad's umbrella anymore. And they're getting fined left and right. Mm-hmm. And you have to have it, I believe, for 6 months. 9 months. Are you sure 9 months? And then you can drop it and not keep it.
You could get it if you did not have it for 3 months. You weren't penalized if you didn't have it for 3 months. So I'd say you have to have it for 9 months.
9 months, you can drop it. Right? Unbelievable. I hope that really.
And depending on the income, there are exemptions. The income is less than 8% of the poverty level. There's all these different variations to look into as far as getting an exemption and getting out of having to pay the penalty.
Do you have a lot of clients that were dealing with Obamacare issues?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
See that? Unbelievable. All right, everyone. Thank you. I want to remind everybody again, you're listening to Eleanor's Elite Radio here on the Talk Network Radio. You can hear my show at talknetworkradio.com, and you can get my friend Michelle here at 321-253-3376. And she's on Sarno Road at the old movie theater. And you can call her and ask her any questions, or possibly just go see her or visit her. And are you in the office? I'm
in the office. They're best to call to make an appointment. I do offer free consults over the phone. If somebody has a tax question and they're stumped with, go ahead and call, and I'll help you as best as I can.
That's important. And all of your things that you do are online. I mean, e-filing.
Yes.
So they'll get their refunds faster. Right. Well, that's a good thing to know, too.
The only thing I cannot e-file is if you have to have your return amended. And there are a few instances where you need to paper file that. It's best to go ahead and paper file because you need to offer an explanation. So that you can't really do over the computer.
So a generalized filing for just a few paperwork, you said, starts at like $45. All right, so that's not so bad. Really, it's not. I think the other little companies that, I shouldn't say little companies, all the other big commercial tax preparers charge a lot more than that.
I won't even go there.
Well, hello, my friend.
Hi there, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great, how are you?
Good. Good to see you.
Seeing you too.
Come sit down. Tell me.
Tell you what,
Say hello.
hello there.
And who are you?
I'm Glenn Sandler from GI Tax.
Here we go.
Headphones.
You don't need him, doll.
I don't need
You
him.
don't need him.
Okay,
Absolutely.
Just talking to you guys, great.
Did you hear how I bragged about you? How wonderful you were?
Yes, I really appreciate that.
All right. That's a wonderful thing. Glenn, this is Michelle.
Hi.
Hi, Michelle,
You
how
with
are
GI
you?
Tax?
Michelle's a dear
I
friend
love
of
your
mine.
slogan.
No dime left
No
behind.
dime left behind. I love that.
Yep, we trademarked that. We own that.
Yeah.
That is great. I love
Glenn's
it.
a good friend of mine. We met him after I had a nightmare of a tax return one year, and I went over to see my friend, and he took care of it wonderfully. You really did.
That's what we do.
Yeah, you
Just
do.
take care of our clients.
And this is a busy time for you as well.
Yes, we're pretty busy. We're actually we're way ahead of last year. It's all about giving customer service, good customer service, caring about your clients like they're your family.
Absolutely. Absolutely. He has that. Do you see outside of his store, he has like that big Hummer?
No.
It's a big Jeep. Yeah, but we have signs now. We have a big American flag guy that's flying all over the place. It's actually one of our slogans. We want to make tax season your favorite season.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think you're going to have a really hard time with that one, though.
Yeah.
I think a little bit hard time.
I don't know. About 95% of our clients get tax.
When they get the refunds, they're real happy.
Yeah. Well, the refunds is what's important. And, you know, Glenn's always been, he's been a true blue kind of guy here. And he's always served our family wonderfully with all his little nooks and crannies and how he goes about doing what he does.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what made you stop by, my friend?
I was invited. So I figured I'd come on and say hello, and maybe I can give some little bit of advice, help you guys out a little bit, and help some of your listeners out.
Absolutely. We, I kind of made an announcement earlier, and I will again do this. The phone number here at the studio is area code 321-806-3159. If you have any questions for Michelle or Glenn, please give us a call in, and we'll get your phone calls on air, and hopefully they'll be able to answer you. Absolutely. So you also crazy season right now, right?
It's fun. It's great. It's picking up. You know, everybody's getting their W-2s and their 1099s, and they're getting all their documents, and they're starting to pour in.
Yeah.
And, you know, the way the economy is now, money's money. I mean, if people have their refunds coming, they should get them as quick as possible. There's no reason to wait.
Yeah. And I was asked.
And unfortunately, they are having to wait this year.
Yeah.
If they have child tax credit or earned income credit, the IRS is holding up the refunds. They're not processing them until February 15th, and they said to expect the refunds to start hitting on February 27th.
Yes.
I asked Michelle as well that a lot of these larger commercial places, when not mentioning any names, are promising people to come in for $1,500 guaranteed refund.
It's not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed.
No, of course not.
No, it's not.
not
And, you know,
guaranteed.
it's not. And, you know,
Just
and,
like the loans aren't guaranteed either.
Yeah.
yes, we looked at that product, and what happens, I think about customer service, and what happens, not everybody qualifies for that. So when people come in to get these refunds and they don't qualify, then they just get upset, and it's not fair. And all it's doing is really speeding up the refund for a few weeks because they're going to pay refunds by the end of the month anyway.
Right.
But what happens is they actually give a no-interest loan based on if they think that you're going to get a refund or not. If they run some kind of diagnostics, they run kind of metrics, and I've had, you know, I tried it with a few of my clients, and they didn't get approved. So I just figured I wouldn't even offer that product.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not fair to
I think
lead
you have
people
to
down
be.
the wrong path.
Yeah, I think you have to be really careful with all of that because you know you want to give the best that you can to your client and
Right.
not kind of sway them in another direction, like what I think a lot of these big commercial tax preparers are doing. You know, these poor people that are really on there's a terminology, I won't use it, but you know, they're kind of working really hard and they don't have the money. And oh my gosh, they hear, oh my, I can get $1,500. Let's go. Poor people. First of all, they're paying about $500 for all the preparation, paperwork, getting it filed early. And it's such a thievery. It really is. Truly it is.
Well, some of the places that people aren't aware of work on commission.
Right.
So the
really?
the higher your paperwork that they can generate for you and charge you, the more money the tax preparer is going to make.
Yeah. Wow. Hey, look at that.
We have published rates. I'm actually going to put a board out of how we charge. We just charge by the form. If you have a 1040, it's $149 and so on and so forth. And it doesn't matter if you make $1 million or you make $20,000. Basically, our prices are the same. We're not here to make money on anybody. We're here to help them get as much money as they possibly can.
Yeah.
I don't know. I explained this to you. I explained this to all my clients. The tax